Welcome everybody to our very first webinar with Better Agency. We are so excited that they agreed to come on. They're also going to be at our Asinoa Sales Conference next month in Arizona. So if you are registered, you'll be able to meet Katrina in person and talk shop with her or talk anything you want. She's an amazing person, and we are really glad to have you coming to our conference.
Thank you.
All right, just real quick, guys, if you have any questions, we want to keep this interactive. So please raise your hand, chat in your questions, and we will get to them, as soon as we can. So today we're going to go over what is all this hype that all of our Asinoa agents are talking about with Better Agency. So we're going to go through all of that. We're going to talk about the agency efficiencies that it's going to give you and free up time for you to have Better Agency do your marketing and your campaigns for you as well. And then we're going to talk about the Epic integration. So we're really excited to get started. And I want to welcome Katrina. Thank you very much for jumping on today and going to be reviewing all this stuff with our group. So I will let you go ahead and introduce yourself, and Steve as well, if you'd like to go ahead and give a little introduction of yourself. And then when you're ready, Katrina, go ahead and you can share your screen.
Perfect. Well, I'll just take a minute. My name is Katrina, and I'm an account executive here at Better Agency. I was actually privileged enough to be the first account executive. So I've been with Better Agency since November of 2020. I come from a background of the CRM marketing space. So I actually worked for another CRM company for about 6 years, and then independently had owned a consulting company where I consulted small businesses on their sales and marketing automation. So it's kind of a perfect segue for me to come into Better Agency. The only thing I had to do was learn your guys' industry, and oh my, that's drinking from a fire. So it's taken me some time. I still am learning some things, but have got to the point where I feel like I finally got the grasp. And so I'm excited to show you guys around. I'm excited to introduce you to Better Agency. I think I saw a couple of names. I may have even talked to a couple of you before. But like Laura said, I want this to be interactive. I talk a lot already. So I need to drink water every once in a while. Don't hesitate and ask those questions. Let us know. And kind of call to action after we go through this. We'll talk about it more at the end, but we're going to do a high level demo. But I encourage you, if you are interested, to schedule a discovery call with one of us. And the reason that I say that is we will be able to get in and dig into your system, your goals, and really validate that we're going to be a good fit for you. So today will be higher level, but I don't want you to think this is all you'll get. We are here, and we would love to really dig into your agency and make sure that we'll be a good fit for you. So without further ado, we're going to jump. Actually, we got to introduce Steve. Steve is my leader.
I'll do a quick intro. Appreciate that. No, so it's all good. Steve Moore, the VP of Growth here with Better Agency. Actually just joined the company a couple months ago. Been around the InsurTech world for quite some time, though, most recently at Lightspeed Voice. And was there for 3 years. Still love Lightspeed, great company, but just super excited about what Better Agency has going on with the product and the direction of the company, really around growth-minded automation and, making life easier and really just developing the best product in the space in the CRM/AMS world. But, like kind of mentioned, Katrina's the expert here on the product. I'm just here for moral support, and, we'll let Katrina take it away. And again, please, interaction is always the key. So looking forward to it.
Yes. All right. So, Laura, will you help me just keep an eye on the chat?
I certainly will.
Okay, cool. And then let me know, when you want me to pause and stop, but let me share my screen here.
All right, fantastic. And remember, if you guys have any questions, you can chat them in or just raise your hand and we'll be able to get to you.
Yes. So before we jump in and I start telling you and showing you all the features, I want to just give a high-level overview of what is Better Agency and what is it going to do within your agency. So Better Agency is a CRM. We have put together a sales-focused CRM but it is a system that is going to help you take care of your customers for their entire customer lifecycle journey. So what I mean by that is from the moment we bring them in as a lead and we would take them through that sales process, all the way through every single renewal year after year, but each individual service ticket in between. And so as we get into the system, we break it down and we're going to have 3 separate pipelines: sales, service, renewal. So we're going to jump into those. And then on the other side, of course, along with getting the sales focused and systematizing each of those processes, we have built out automation. And so we call them campaigns. And the campaigns are comprised of emails and text messages that are going to go out to your customers in a timely fashion based on where they're at in your process. Okay. So as we go through, I'm going to break down the system. I'm going to show you each one of those separate sections. We'll pop into the campaigns. I know for a lot of us, when we hear automation, it is kind of scary. And we don't want, it's if we've never used automation or if we've had it go bad before, it is important for us. I know for myself, even though I've been in this world for 10 years, it is important for us to really have control over that. So we're going to hit on that and cover some reporting. So I'm going to jump in here. Can everyone see my screen? Just drop something into the chat.
Certainly can.
Okay, so we're going to just jump in here. And like I said, when questions come up, Laura will help me make sure that I don't miss anyone. So if we look at the screen here, this is our dashboard. When you log into Better Agency, this would be what you log into and you see it very first glance. Up top here, notifications. Inside Better Agency, you're going to be able to send out emails and text messages, which means when people reply to those text messages, they're coming in here. So this is going to be a place that you can come. You can look at any text messages that came in. I'm able to look at, new opportunities or leads that were created for me. So you'll have that. We got this day at a glance. Beautiful thing is we're supporting team members who are out of the office. I'm able to come in and I can see what does Katrina have on, on the agenda today. If she's out sick, I can help support and take care of that. One of the things we're going to do is at different points during your customer lifecycle journey, we are going to try to help you get some Google reviews. That's going to help increase your SEO. And so as we're bringing on new customers, we're renewing them, we're going to ask them how their service is. And if their service is good, we're going to try and get that feedback. We're going to redirect them to Google and ask for a review. If they come back and they say, hey, not happy with my service, what we're going to do there is we're going to actually take them to a thank you page, thank them for that feedback, let you know so you can reach out and hopefully turn that into a positive experience. So we definitely want to make sure that we'll get this connected with your Google My Business so you can track that. I love this. It may be because I'm a salesperson, but most of you, I assume, are salespeople too. You're able to come in here and we can set goals. So we can set what is our agency goal, and then what is each one of our individual contributor goals. So as we talk about having a system that's sales focused, I can come in here and I can see my monthly premium goal is 50,000. Well, this is where I started today. If I'm on track to hit goal, this is where I need to be. And then what do I have left to goal? Couple other things to point out here. We've got some data points just at a quick glance. So I can see my new business overview, my renewal performance, as well as my projected renewals. So as we go through here, you can filter them down. You're going to get different graphs. And these are just visual graphs. We're going to give you more reporting and in-depth reporting, but just so you have a quick overview of what's happening within the agency. And then our monoline clients, right? One of the easiest ways for us to generate revenue within the agency is rounding out that book of business. So you are able to come in, pull a list of your monoline clients, have a hit list, people to reach out to and connect with. I'm going to take us from here. I'm going to transition us and I'm going to show us a contact record inside Better Agency. So we're going to look at
real quick, Katrina.
Oh, yes.
Can you customize this dashboard, this homepage?
You cannot.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, I think that was it on that question. Thanks.
You're welcome. So as we come in and we look at our contact record here, this is what the contact is going to look like inside Better Agency. If you notice here, we've got it separated out. We've got personal and commercial. I can add secondary contacts. I'm going to have my contact details here. So basic contact information, what do we need in the system for our marketing and our reporting? Our policy details. So we're going to have individual policies for each one of those. And as I come in here, think back to when we had those old file drawers, right? We had one main file and then a lot of those sub files. So each policy essentially has its own file. I'm going to be able to come in, see my policy details. I can see all notes, service tickets, attachments associated with this file specifically. So just think of, as I come in, I've got each policy has its own file here. Now, you'll hear us talk a lot about like campaigns, marketing, automation. And so we've got that at different points during the journey. But when we talk about making sure that you have control, if I come in here, I can see what campaigns you've ever been in. So I can look and see where they've ever been. If they were in a campaign, I would be able to see that here. If maybe you ran into them at the grocery store and found out that they had just bought a boat, well, we can come in and we can start my cross-sell campaign and drop them into it very quickly. And as we talk about the control, right, I can see what's going to happen. Oh, this email is going to be sent out here in about 30 minutes. So if I want to send it now, I can cancel it. Same thing with those text messages or turn off and pause. So it's all about giving you guys control. It is not about replacing. It is about supporting you guys so you can do what is best or what you're best at, which is supporting and selling policies, right? So as we come down here, all of the notes inside Better Agency are date, time, user stamped. They cannot be edited and they can't be deleted. So as you're adding those notes into the system, rest assured that we're going to, you've got everything that you need should you run into any E&O issues. Attachments, we're going to be able to bring those in. And then just like I showed you on the policy, I can attach them to my policy specific, okay? Here on the right-hand side, this is what we call our unified messaging center. This is where we're going to track ingoing, outgoing emails and text messages. So this is where they will be housed. I can also send one-off communication here. So whether or not they are being sent from the campaigns, I'm going to see them here, or I can come in and have a back and forth text conversation. So if I scroll up a little bit, I was texting myself last week when I was on a demo. So they'll come in. The texting is multimedia message. So if they're sending you PDFs, images, that's all going to come into. Any questions, Laura, on the contact record before I jump in and show us the sale or get into the pipelines?
I don't have any questions right now, but I love the activities, the notes that you can put on there. They're date and time stamped, just like our activities in Epic, same thing. So, help protect your E&O, that's really important.
Yeah,
and the
thank you
same
for
for
pointing
the
that out.
attachments. So if you're texting back and forth and let's say a client sends you a picture of their home or their engagement ring, that's going to come right in here as well.
And what's really cool is if they text it, it will automatically add the attachment to the file. You can just come in and rename it.
That's awesome. And we do have a question. Hold on one second. I thought I seen.
I think it's Natalie. It looks like Natalie.
There it is. All right, Neil. Hello. I just unmuted you.
Oh, hello. Thanks, ladies. I was actually just curious about the text. Like, is it unlimited text messages as well?
And it's
Okay.
included in your subscription. Great question.
Perfect. Okay. Just curious. Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're
That is a
welcome.
great question. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, David Rowley. Hi, David. I unmuted you.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Katrina, I have a question. I typically make a lot of notes in my Epic. Do I have to still do a double entry into Better Agency and in Epic, or did they communicate simultaneously?
If you want them in both places, essentially it would be double entry. And so that's one of the things we'll actually talk about is documenting whether or not we document inside Better Agency or we document inside Epic and decide which is best for you. I, of course, would not say do both because I want to cut down on the work and save you as much time as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. No, thank you.
All right, we got another question. Hi, Tom, I unmuted you.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Tom.
Tom.
Hi there. So we had a question regarding this system compared to Easy Links and its advanced package. And maybe, I don't know if you guys know that, we can do certain things if we sign up for their additional package, I guess.
Yeah. So my understanding is that EasyLinks has a couple of levels. I know they've got the Radar, then they have an AMS, but I think they've got different like add-ons that you can add. And the difference is some of them do have the pipelines are there, maybe, an email here or there. The difference is that within Better Agency, it's done and built for you. You're not going to have to go in and manually run your renewal report in that renewal center. It's already going to bubble up for you. But I can't speak to much more than that because I don't know a ton about them. I just get to listen to you guys and learn as I listen to different agencies.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tom. Oh, Alberto. Hello, Alberto.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Are text messages saved as notes?
They are. Well, they're not saved in the notes section. They are saved here.
Okay, and are we going to have access to them for how long?
Ever.
Forever? Okay, great.
Mhm.
So if there is ever an errors and omissions, we can always go back to the text messages, right?
Forever. Yep.
Okay.
And just to piggyback off that, one of the, as we create a Better Agency, one of the things that we stand by is how you own your own data. What I mean by that is if and when you ever choose to leave Better Agency, I hope it's because you're selling and you're going to go live your retirement dream, but we will export all of your data for you for free. You own your data and it will include your emails and text messages.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks.
I have another question to piggyback off of that. In the note section here or the text messages, is there a way to run a report to pull all of those client messages at one time?
To like export?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Good question.
All right. Thank you, Alberto.
You're welcome.
I'm going to transition now. We're going to jump into our pipeline. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our sales pipeline. So as I'm working my new prospects, my new opportunities, what we're going to do is we're going to funnel them into Better Agency. So for instance, let's say that you've got a form on your website and you've got that form, collecting new leads. Well, what we can do is we can bring that lead into Better Agency and automatically launch our sales pipeline. So they'll come in as a new lead. Each one of these columns here has campaigns behind it. So it does have the automation behind it. And then this is all drag and drop. So they'll come in. It is very focused on speed to lead. So the goal is that within 10 minutes, that text message and an email will be sent to your new prospect, and our internal team will be notified, letting them know that they have that new prospect. So we want to get in front of them as soon as possible. And then as you're working that lead, you're going to move it down your pipeline. So go back to you having control. Well, because it was an appointment scheduled, we've got some tracking. So was my call completed? We're going to say yes. And when we talk about the automations, I use the example, maybe you're doing a policy for grandma, right? We don't want grandma to send her emails and text messages. We just don't want to forget. So as we come in, we have the opportunity to either close this out altogether, or I'm not sure what's happening here, why this isn't Loading. Try. Well, typically, I'm not sure what's going on with my system here, but typically there's a button here and there it is. As I move them from stage to stage, I have the ability to start the automation if I want to. Well, as we're working someone through my pipeline, they're really going to go one of two ways. If we lose them, we're going to update them. We're going to pull them into that lost column. Oh, we don't want to call myself. We're going to pull that into my lost column. I am having some internet-ish. Is my audio okay, Laura?
Yes, it's good.
Okay,
It's great.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not having that type of issue. So as we are working them, they're going to go one in two ways. If we lost that lead or that prospect, we're going to drop them into that lost column, lost stage, and we're going to send out a lost email. We can drop them into my long-term follow-up. That's going to communicate with them every month leading up to their X date. So we're going to put that X date in here. And now next year, what's going to happen is as their X date is coming up, the system is automatically going to bubble them up, put them on your radar, and start reaching out to them to try and get us the opportunity to requote them again this year. You also can get some reporting, lost policy reason, carrier premium. So that's what happens if we lose them. We don't drop them. We're going to continue to engage them year after year. But what happens when we win them is we're going to come in and we are going to update our status to 1. So what we're able to do here is when we come in and we update the status, we are going to enter in this information: effective date, policy number, term length, carrier, and premium. What this is going to do is this is going to populate our reporting in the system. This is also going to launch any post-binding checklist that we have specific to the carrier and the policy, as well as start and launch our new welcome campaign. It's also a really good opportunity. If we just sold that home policy, well, now let's drop them into our cross-sell campaign, right? So I could come in and drop them right into my classic car cross-sell campaign. So now what's happening by default is my customer is now going to be put into that new welcome campaign. That is where that very first satisfaction survey is going to come from as well. And then in 30 days, the system will automatically launch my cross-sell campaign. I want to pause there because I am going to transition into our service center next. So
We have a question. Hello, Patrick. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, everybody. So Katrina, I actually am a Better Agency user. I just wanted to see how things worked with Asnoa. So I'm here, and you mentioned when we move someone to 1, if we click a cross-sell campaign, that will wait 30 days to trigger. Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's wonderful to know. We keep pushing a task out 30 days and then we start the campaign. So now it makes a little more sense. That's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And Patrick, first of all, everyone, Patrick, I knew who you are. Patrick is one of our favorite customers. He's awesome. And so I definitely know who you are. Don't think we don't all know you and appreciate you.
Well, I'm blushing, I promise.
You should be. You should be.
Great question, Patrick. Anything else you want to add since you are using Better Agency?
And Katrina, I don't know what you started off with. A lot of this screen specifically, we were able to customize the campaigns that are already attached to each one of these pipelines and make it sound like us, which was huge for us. Even on the one screen, that the campaign that triggers automatically, so our new business onboarding specialists get a specific task to do certain things, which is wonderful. But every day there is a phone call that I live on, and I will jump in 3-4 times a week. Every day at noon, there's a phone call where you could just jump in and ask the account specialist or the support specialist how to do things or how to get feedback. And it has been a phenomenal resource on where to learn and real application instead of just hypotheticals or just beyond what we believe is there at the beginning onboarding. It's wonderful. So keep that piece up. Never lose that, Katrina.
Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate that feedback, and I will make sure that I share that with the team.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks,
Mhm.
Patrick.
Okay, so we're going to transition and we are going to look at our service center. So this is, if you choose to use it inside Better Agency, so as you're making changes to any policies, anything like that, we do have a service center. You're able to come in, you can create tickets. There's automation that will go out. So when a ticket is created, we can automatically let our customer know, hey, we did receive that. We are working on it and we'll be in touch. And then as we work that service ticket, if there are things we need to handle, we can move it over and put it into my in progress. And then once we close it, what's going to happen here is the automation that's going to go out is actually going to tell them, hey, wanted to let you know that we have closed out that request for your policy. If you have any questions, let us know. And this is the second place that we're going to ask for one of those satisfaction surveys. Now, there are a couple of different ways that we can get service tickets into this pipeline. So if you have, for instance, a form on your website, and that's where people go submit their service request, we can get that connected and come into Better Agency. If you have a service at, let's say, we'll just use AsNOAA as an example, service@asnoa.com email address. Well, every time someone emails that service email address, we can bring them in and it'll create a ticket. So I know a lot of us who, are maybe producers and not servicing, our customers come back to us. We've built that relationship. What our producers are able to do when they get that email is that email comes in, they can take it and forward it to the service email. It will get created in here, and then we can round robin it out between our service team. And so really this is about documenting, making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. We dot our I's, we cross our T's in regards to, change requests and make sure that we don't run into any of those, issues.
I got a question for you, Katrina. So this one has Alex on it. Can now you switch this ticket that comes in, can you switch it to somebody else to start working on it?
That is a great question. Yes, you can. So if I wanted to change who it's going to be assigned to, I can come in here and I can actually change that. And let me show you something that's a good question. It leads me. If I'm creating the ticket and maybe I am someone who handles just answering our phones, but I'm not the service person. So if I'm going to come in and create a ticket, I can come in, I can create my service opportunity. I'm going to get it connected to a specific contact. Like this one. I'm going to select my policy. It's such a sad policy. Let's do general liability. And then I'm going to come down here, what type of ticket is it? I can put some notes in and I can assign it to someone specific, or I can assign it to my service team and it will round robin based on who's up next to get this ticket. And I can save my ticket. So you do have the ability to create them manually as well and assign it to a team.
Oh, I love that.
Alberto.
All right, you're unmuted.
Hi. Can we assign the priority? Like if it's urgent for someone to get it done as quick as possible, if it's not so important, if it can wait?
Great question.
That is a great question. And full transparency, I think or thought that there was a
Like if a
priority
ticket
here.
can be a follow-up within a week, if it needs to be done the same day, tomorrow.
I don't see that on the actual service opportunity. However, it certainly can be done on my task. And so I know
priority.
And you can filter your task list based on your priority. And that's kind of the difference between Better Agency and some other systems. Some other systems, you go in and I can't remember what it's called, but then it's like we put it into suspense, right? And that's like, we'll suspend it for 7 days, but I don't remember what the other systems call it. So for us, what we do is we have a ticket which is this entire thing. And then a ticket may have 5 tasks associated to it that maybe we go in, we complete it, but now this task needs to be completed. So it's just a little bit different than some of the other systems. And if I'm not explaining that well, please let me know.
All right, how was that, Alberto? Any other questions?
None at this time. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to jump out of my service pipeline and we're going to come into our renewal pipeline. Couple of things with the renewal pipeline. You have control. So what I mean by that is we can choose how many days before renewal we want our commercial policies to bubble up and we want our personal policies to bubble up. So you're going to set this threshold here. When that happens, the system's automatically going to bubble them up, let you know that you've got this policy coming up. And then what you're able to do is look inside Epic, look at that new premium that is being downloaded, that new policy, and choose which follow-up you want. So we have it set by like threshold of their % rate increase. But essentially the difference between these two columns is if we put it in our above, and you can set your threshold at whatever number you want. But if we put it in above, the communication that's going to go out is going to drive them to schedule a policy review with us. So we want them to get in front of us, let's requote you, and that's what we're really going to focus on the above. Whereas if it's below, we're still going to reach out. So we reach out to every single person renewing. We'll reach out and we're going to say, hey, you're coming up for renewal. Based on what we see, everything looks good on our end. But how are things in your home? If things have changed, let's schedule a time to connect. If not, we look forward to another year together. And then when that policy does bind and go live, we're going to update that. We're going to put it into completed. And this is how we keep the data inside Better Agency up to date year after year. Because as it's coming in and downloading into Epic, we want to make sure that we keep this up to date. So we can come in here. We're going to be able to put our policy number in, carrier, update any information that we need to here. And one of the things that I love about our reporting is the way that you will be able to really differentiate between a renewed policy, a new policy, and a rewritten policy. So you're going to get that segmentation through this process as well. So we're going to update that. Another really great opportunity to put them into a cross-sell campaign, right? We know every opportunity that we can get to get more policies within their book is going to help us increase our retention. So really focused on that in here. And then if we wanted to start that renewal completion, we're going to tell them we look forward to another year together, ask how their service was, and try to get you that Google review again. That was a lot. Any questions about that so far?
So far, don't have any questions on the board here, but that was a lot of information. So that was really helpful to see how that pipeline works.
Thank you.
For renewals.
So I talked, did I hear? Oh, I thought I heard something.
We got a question from Mike.
Oh, go for it, Mike.
You're unmuted. You are self-muted, so you will have to unmute yourself. There you
There we
go.
go. Now we can hear me. Okay.
Hi.
You were manually filling in that information as far as carrier and renewal date, premium, all that kind of thing. So does that mean that that does not just automatically come over from Epic?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Okay. That was my question. Thanks.
Very good question.
So then if you're using your exceptions report that you're getting from Epic, that's going to show you what is renewing with an increase in premium. Then you would take those clients and policies from there, come in here to Better Agency and create them for their request. Is that correct, Katrina? Where you're going to manually create the above 12% rate increase?
You will manually move it from this column. So they'll automatically bubble up based on
renewal
effective date and
date.
term length.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, that's automatically going to bubble up. And then at that point, it's notifying you to let you know, hey, you've got a renewal coming up. But because we're not downloading the policy from Ivans, at that point, we have to look into Epic, see what that new premium is, and then choose what follow-up we want to put them in.
Okay.
Easy peasy on that one. Love that.
It's nice because the follow-up helps save time. Like, yes, we have to look into Epic, right? But I don't have to worry about sending any emails, any text messages. And if I need to follow up or, you know, throughout the pipeline, there are task reminders for our team to reach out. So they have to look it up, review it, and then go on with their day.
Yeah, that's amazing. So all of those, just so I get it right too, is that going to show up in our 60 days before renewal. Then we're going to put them where we need them to go for the above 12% rate increase if we wanted to, if they had a rate increase. If they don't have a rate increase, everything is perfect. We know that they're going to be happy with that renewal rate. Then we can just move that over to completed.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yes. Thank you for asking the clarifying questions there. The only other thing I want to point out on this is for our agencies who may be doing or writing commercial policies, right? Commercial renewal process is very different than the personal. It is very much of a one-on-one. I'm going to actively engage. A lot of times we don't want that automation to go out. So it's going to bubble up. It's going to let you know. But then we've got a couple of different columns here. So we've got our working renewal and then our renewal ready. So as we're working on getting those documents, or we have to go out and do site visits or whatever it is, we're going to put them in there. And then when we're ready to actually sit down and review with them, we'll update that system. And then when we do go ahead and we decide we're moving forward, we're going to complete that. So a little bit of different process if you are working the commercial policies. No questions. Okay, so I am going to now just do a little bit of a recap. So what have we covered so far? We have talked about bringing customers into Better Agency. We've talked about working them through our sales process, our renewal process, servicing in between. We did go over that contact list. Now, as you're generating your leads, I know a lot of agencies will connect with realtors, mortgage brokers, loan officers, right? And utilize them as referral partners. So one of my favorite things about Better Agency is the ability to create referral partners in the system. So I'm able to come in, I can create as many referral partners as I need. We can have them assigned to specific people if we wanted to. So if Joe only worked with Steve, well, then every one of these leads that come in from Joe is going to be assigned to Steve. And what happens is each one of our referral partners is going to get their own link. This will be branded with your information. They'll come in, they're going to submit this form. And when they do, it's going to come in, it's going to be created as a contact. It'll be put into your sales pipeline as a new lead. And then by default, within 10 minutes, they'll get an email and a text. And then whoever that opportunity is assigned to will get the communication. It's also really great because then you are able to see, hey, how many referrals are coming over, how many were closed, and what's the premium. So you can identify, hey, we're going to take out Joe. We're going to invite him to our company holiday party, and we're going to spend some time working on the relationships with Nick and Chad, right? So it just helps you to communicate. The other thing is if you want to keep your partner up to date on that sales process. Just wanted to let you know, I just sent that quote out to Katrina. You can engage that automation and utilize that to keep your partners up to date on what's happening with their lead as well. Any questions about referral partners?
No, but I think that that's really neat too. Oh, wait, we do. Tom's got a question. Hold on.
Okay.
Hi, Tom.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this might be a different type of question, but regarding the referral partners and how we're managing them here in these this report, are we able to do similar to prospecting clients? Can we do things to keep in front of our referral partners. Say we have a whole bunch of them, and some of them, you know, we have really good, strong relationships with, so we're talking to them on a regular basis. But maybe some of them, you know, pop in and give us a referral once a year, twice a year, and they're kind of out of sight, out of mind. You know, is there something we can send to them through the system to say, hey, just checking in with you, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, blah, 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 or just some sort of little thing like that?
I absolutely love that idea. We don't have that in an automated fashion right now. We have talked about it internally, and you know, it's a part of the agency is also nurturing our partners too. And so it is something that's on the team's radar, but we don't have yet. So in that case, what I would recommend is utilizing our broadcast feature. So we could come in, I could pull a list of people and segment them, you know, a lot of different ways and send out a mass email or text message. And so my recommendation would be that we pull up those people and then we send them communication via email or text, like maybe quarterly or something like that, until the team does get that developed natively within the system.
Okay, great. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, great question.
All right, thanks for the question, Tom.
And actually it leads me to, I'm going to talk about this just a little bit more. So when we talk about Better Agency, and we talk about those campaigns and the automation, there are 3 ways that we can communicate with our customers, okay? We do it through the automation. Those are the campaigns. I'm actually going to get into those here in just a second. We can do it one-on-one, right on that contact record, or in mass via email and or text message, okay? So really important, use case scenarios for mass text. Maybe we're closing the office early. We just want to send out a quick text, or happy Halloween, we're doing a trunk or treat in the parking lot. Just get some quick communication out. Campaigns, okay, this is the bread and the butter. This is like some of my favorite stuff because of everything that's gone into create these campaigns for you guys. So we've got campaigns in the system, and we've got separate, personal versus commercial. If I come in here, what you can do within the system is we've got some auto-generated, all of them that don't have a trash can. So these 3 are auto-generated campaigns in the system. But as you're working with partners or different lead sources, sometimes you're going to want to customize a little bit of that communication that comes in to identify, hey, I just got your information from Katrina at, Wells Fargo. She asked me to reach out. So we can come in here now and launch new lead campaigns and then communicate specifically to where they're coming from. And then from there, we take them down and we funnel them through the same process. So if you see here behind each stage of that sales campaign, of that sales pipeline, there is a campaign. I show this campaign all the time. So it's a quote sent campaign. As we look at the campaigns in the system, when we built out our campaigns in Better Agency, we split test the content on over 300,000 different prospects. So we know the subject lines that are going to help us get those opens, and we know the content that's going to drive that engagement. What we did is, we brought them in and built them out. But right now, across the board at Better Agency, we have a 44% unique email open rate, which is huge. When I used to consult small businesses, I tell them if you have 18% open rate, that's fantastic. I attribute that, yes, to those subject lines, but I also attribute that to the way that we built the marketing. So if you see here in my system, day 4, an email goes out, 5 minutes later, a text message goes out, driving them to that email. We know we can get a lot more information into an email, but text messages have a lot higher of an open rate. So we utilize them together to drive the engagement that we want. We talk about you having control. So we came in, we wrote all the content, we split tested it. However, you still have control. So this is the email. It's one of my favorite emails, but you have to have the type of personality that I do to send this type of email. So this email goes out 10 days after we've sent that quote. We haven't heard from them. And if you look here, the subject is, did you get eaten by alligators? And it kind of got a little funny, but it's because we haven't heard from them in 10 days. I got some feedback from a user who said this is by far the most converting email. She gets more responses from this email than any other email, but it sticks out. Now, with that being said, You may not ever communicate with your customers like this. This just may not be, or it may not be, appropriate for your target market. So you can come in, you can change your content. If I want to delete any of the communications in my emails, I can. And I also have the ability to add that communication within the system. So as we look at the campaigns, we have them through our sales process. We have them after the sale, long-term nurture, X date. We've got both prospect and client birthday, win back. Service, we've got new client welcome. Those are our service requests. If you're working with a loan officer and someone reaches out, binder a request, you can actually notify your loan officer, hey, Katrina might be looking into refinancing, and automatically go into that contact and shoot off a quick email. I don't know if we have anyone here in Florida, or sometimes California, I think Texas is getting there. If you're in a place where a lot of carriers are pulling out, or you're having to roll books of business, we also have this insolvency campaign. Cross-sell campaigns within the system as well, renewals and claims. So those are the campaigns. Again, you have full control. You can tweak them and customize them, but we've built it out for you. And then the next thing that we're going to hit on here is we're going to look at some of our reporting. Okay, so I'm going to go into we've got our sales report. This is where we've got leaderboard, a little bit of gamification. I can see, my opportunity overview, commission report, lead source ROI, win back. This lead conversion report, this is one of my favorites. Again, maybe it's because I am in sales, but I love the data that you can get from this. So if you see here, we're going to get, what are my percentages, right? So new lead to quoted, quoted to sold, new lead to sold, average times. Well, if you don't know this within the agency now, and you're able to get this data, this is how you can tweak your marketing. This is how you can forecast better and be able to decide what leads, how many leads do I need to come in order to hit our monthly goals. So this is going to be helpful, but what's awesome is the way that you can filter it down. So if I want to come down and I want to filter it down by my owner or carrier, even lead source, policy type, I can come in and I can filter that down, and it's going to give you the data you need to make decisions with your teams. So one of my favorite reports in the system. You're going to have activity reports. It's going to track emails, text messages, and tasks completed in the system. And then our agency report. So what's great about this one is the ability, or these ones, is just what it's able to give to you. I know I talk to agencies all the time. Hey, talk to me about how your book breaks down commercial versus personal. Not quite sure, right? And it's a lot to keep up on, or some of our systems don't give us the data that we'd like. So what we have here is our agency health report. I can come in, I can see where we're looking. I can see how my book breaks down. Over here, I can see, hey, over a certain period of time, how many clients have I gained, lost? What is my net? Same with policies, premium, revenue. We were talking a little earlier about that lost opportunity report. You're going to have that within the system. So you're going to be able to get some data. If I find that I'm losing, a lot of my deals to State Farm, and I can come in and get the reasons why. Now I know who, where I want to go and alternatives. So it's just going to really give you the opportunity to get some data on the agency. So I want to pause there, because as we look at the system, we've covered our marketing automation. We have covered all three of those pipelines, the reporting, and our referral partners. So that's a really good high-level overview of the system. So let's pause and open it up to any questions before I talk pricing and onboarding and what the interaction with Epic will look like.
Anybody have any questions? I don't see any on the board. But I do love all the reporting too. I think that's really helpful, and it's important to be able to know what you have in your agency, what you're doing. Epic has a lot of reports as well, but if you're putting them into win back campaigns and you're putting them into, any of the other different campaigns for cross-selling, to be able to see that reporting on that, it's pretty amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, David's got a question. Hello, David, you are unmuted.
Hello, back again. This system seems really good, but there's a lot of double entry here. You know, so I just not sure how much time consuming this might be, or maybe it's just a process of getting used to enter all this stuff in all the time. Or is it
Yeah.
more automated than I'm assuming?
Um, David, I'd actually, if Patrick's open to it, Patrick, are you still with us? Can you
Well,
raise your hand?
Patrick is on a different, let me unmute you too, Patrick.
Oh,
Patrick's on a different system.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
okay.
use Better Agency for everything. So I use the AMS and the CRM side.
okay, okay. I
He's,
was gonna see how.
yeah, he's on a different system than what we're currently working with. But let me ask you a question, Katrina, and it might roll into the question about the integration with Epic. If I am purchasing leads
Mhm.
and I have a whole list of leads, am I able to import those into Better Agency?
Yes, so you are actually able to import any leads or current customer data via a CSV into Better Agency.
So with that said, we would be able to run a report out of Epic with the data that would be needed to create new contacts into Better Agency and add in the policy information, premium dates, lines of business, all with that report from the CSV report from Epic.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Does everybody understand that? Oh, I got some hands up. Hold on. David, you already are unmuted. Did you have another question on regards to that?
No, I just, just trying to get a good flow in my mind as far as a flow schematic on like this process,
All right, here's my thought on everything would be to always start in Epic. Always put your prospects into Epic, always start in Epic. You get up your policies in Epic in order to get paid commission. We can set up that report to run daily, weekly, monthly, however you guys want to do it. That information, then you can take that report and import it into Better Agency, and it's going to automatically create your contacts for you. Then you have to come into Better Agency and do the work on it.
Mhm.
So you can get your data from Epic, put it in there, and then you will be able to create all your campaigns that you need.
The alternative to, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, is Better Agency also. We do integrate with Zapier. So I know sometimes people are getting leads. And so if we, online, we could, however you're getting them into the system now, perfect, but we could look into also zapping them into Better Agency and launching the campaigns automatically. So there are definitely some opportunities for us to do that. But like Laura said, we definitely want them in Better Agency so we can work them through that sales process. And that's why the data that we're bringing into Better Agency is going to be, we don't need everything that's on their deck pages, and we don't need all that. We need what we need to sell and to get our reporting, right? And to service, so policy information. Really good question. It's one that comes up very often. So thank you for asking.
Alberto, you are unmuted.
Yes, is AMS the same as Epic? The Better Agency AMS system?
Is it the same as Epic?
Yeah, is it a management system to manage policies like, or what? Because I know Patrick says that he was using a different system from Better Agency, right? So what is AMS?
So Patrick is actually, it's a good question. So Patrick is using Better Agency as his CRM and AMS. So Better Agency is, as we continue growing, we are an agency success platform that has a full functioning CRM with AMS features. So when I say with AMS features, IBANs downloads, accord forms, commission reconciliation. And then as we continue to expand, we just acquired a proposal company. And so as we look at Better Agency, it is really, the goal is to give you a hub for the core of your agency. And but it'll do features that traditionally the AMS and a CRM have done.
And the only thing that we would be using it for would be for the CRM because
Yeah.
you do have to use Epic in order for our accounting department to reconcile commission, so you can get all the reporting out of there. So we wouldn't be able to use the Better Agency AMS.
Correct.
just
Thank you
with
for
the
clarifying that.
CRM.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alberto. Great question. All right. Anybody else have any other questions before we start wrapping up here? Perfect. I think we're good, Katrina.
Okay, so we're going to talk pricing and we are going to talk onboarding real quick. So we are only, again, we're only looking at CRM pricing, and the pricing is going to be, it's going to be based on the amount of users per month, or excuse me, not per month, the amount of users. So you text messaging, emails, and contacts in the system are all included. So if you see here, we've got our starter edition 1 to 3 users, growing 4 to 6, powerhouse 7 to 10. So we start at $2.99 up to $5.49 a month. We also do have special pricing for AskNOAA. So what we have for that pricing is we have 20% off your first 3 months. So what that will do is that's going to bring, of course, these figures down, and we can, if we get on the phone and talk, I'll give you the exact number, but 20% off what you see on the website for your first 3 months. And then it would go list price after that. It is a 1-year contract. And as we bring you into Better Agency, you are going to work one-on-one with a client success manager. They are going to help you, if you've got some CSV files, they're going to help you bring your CSV file into Better Agency. They're going to teach you and your team how to use it. So they're going to do training calls. Hey, from a service perspective, how do I utilize this system? And then from a sales perspective, how do I utilize the system? So day to day, how to be as efficient in the system as possible. So you'll meet with them typically 3 to 4 times during your first 30 days to really get you comfortable in the system. Any questions about onboarding or pricing?
I think that's some great pricing for our group with that 20% off for the first 3 months. That's amazing. Thank you very much for doing that. Got some hands being raised here.
Okay.
Alberto?
Yes. So let's say if I move forward with with you guys, and I give it a try for a year, and hopefully, I mean, he seems pretty good, but if I don't like it and I decide to continue with you, what will happen to my data?
Oh, great question. You own it. So what you would do is you would reach out to our team, and we will actually provide an exit file for you with all of your data that will include attachments, emails, and text messages.
Thank you.
Free of charge because it's included in your subscription.
Free of charge. Love it. I think Natalia had a question. Did you have a question? I just unmuted you.
I did, but I think I just saw it's a 1-year agreement. So there's a contract for the full year. Did I see that?
Correct.
Okay, so that's my question. And then,
One 1-year agreement, and that's with Better Agency directly.
Yes.
With them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if let's say, because I'm in contract with someone else right now, if I wanted to try this in January, February, does this 20% off count for then as well?
Yes.
Or is it just my, okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. And it doesn't look like we have any other questions at this time. So the one thing I want to talk to everyone about is you can go to the website, you can schedule a call through the website. I just dropped into the chat a link to schedule a call with me if you want to connect with me directly. So you can pick it from the website, schedule with me. But even though we've done this demo, like I said at the beginning, for the people who weren't here, you're going to come in, we are going to really validate, we're going to have the conversation with you, validate, yes, so that we do think this is going to be a good fit, demo the system in depth for you, so that when it does come time for you to make that decision, you can make the decision that's best for your agency, and you've got that information to make an educated decision. So I don't want you guys to think, oh, we already saw the demo and now it's just kind of, I want you guys to really think we are here, we're here to serve you. And first step of that is having a conversation about you, your agency, and your goals, and then we'll move into the rest.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you taking the time today and reviewing all of this with us. This was great questions. I think Alberto has one more. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Alberto.
Yes, so we are in California and 90% of our customers are Spanish speaking. Do you have Spanish campaigns?
No, they are all in English. We do support special characters. So if you wanted to, you could go in and you could translate it into Spanish. I will call out the limitation with that is the campaign would either be in Spanish or in English. There's no hybrid option unless you put both of them in the email.
Okay, so I have to manually go in there and translate.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, because it's a growing market. Is that something that you guys are contemplating?
Oh, I'm very well aware, my friend.
So are they looking
Sure.
into making any changes for that?
You know, I know that we've got some pretty big things on the deck for through the end of the year. If it is on it, I know that the team is aware of it. And if it is on the team's radar, I can pretty much guarantee it won't happen the end of this year. Potentially moving forward, but I don't ever want to promise that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
You can. All right. Well, thank you very much. And thank you everybody for jumping on today. Boy, was that a lot of information. I took down all these notes to review. And I'm really liking that renewal pipeline. That just amazed me at all that information that you can do. And the ticket system, that too is awesome. I want to actually learn some more about that. So Katrina, I will be scheduling some time with you on that, just so I can get some more information. At the end of today, you guys are going to receive an evaluation. Please feel free, fill it out for me. Let me know what you guys want to see on upcoming webinars. And thank you so much for joining today. I had a lot of fun with Katrina today and look forward to seeing Katrina next month at our AsNOA Sales Conference in Arizona. Hope you guys are all registered.
Can't wait.